Hello everybody, and once again we are about to take a look at what has sold in my eBay store for the week. And I do need to point out though, real quick, if you're watching my channel for the first time, my name is Mark. I am a teacher and baseball coach during the day, and then in my spare time I resell on eBay, and just recently I began reselling on Amazon. I do need to point out that as you see what is selling in my store, or if you click on my link to my store in the description and search those sold items just to educate yourself on what you can be picking up, you got to understand the context here. What I can source in my area may not be the same for you. I have around 10 Goodwills within a 45-minute drive of my house that I can get to, and the Goodwills that I go to may be different from the Goodwills that you have in your area. You may have a lot to go to just like I do, but you may not be able to find some of the things like I do. For example, I pick up a lot of Under Armour in my Goodwills, and I hear from a lot of other resellers they can't find the biggest name brands like that in athletic gear, like Under Armour and some of the Nike and Adidas athletic gear. It could be that there are just more pickers in your area that are picking them up and reselling on the various platforms. So it could be just that you have competition. I do have competition myself, but it seems like a lot of resellers in my area are picking up the electronics. Some of them focus on shoes a little bit, and so that's why it's important I think, to educate yourself on a lot of different categories. Have a lot of different avenues where you can pivot if it seems like some of the things that you've been sourcing are starting to dry up, or you just can't find the things that you've been learning from resellers like me. So keep that in mind, but I promise you the stuff is there that you can resell. It's just you may have to work a little bit harder. Maybe it's not thrift stores you need to be going to. It could be that you have some really good community yard sales or garage sales that you can go to and source your items there. Maybe you could do some online arbitrage type things where you're sourcing some things on different websites on the internet and then reselling those. I know a lot of resellers have success with that. I dabble in it a little bit, but most of my items that I get are things that I buy in person at thrift stores, and probably my second best sourcing comes from garage sales, and doing retail arbitrage in person is right after that. So just understand that you can get there. You can get to the point where you're making the kind of money that I do or some of these other resellers do if you just put in the work and the time. And most importantly, and you hear me say this a lot if you watch my other videos, love what you do. Love the type of items you sell. Love the process. I love to list. I don't get tired of listing. I love going out and sourcing, especially at the Goodwills. I've come to know the workers at almost every single Goodwill that I go to, and I consider some of them friends. They've been around. Some of them have been around ever since I started reselling 6 years ago, and so I'm more into that side of it with the relationships I've established. That's just the most important thing, though, is find the things that you love in it. That's what will keep you motivated, and it'll keep you getting up. It'll keep you going sourcing. It'll keep you listing, and that's just the best advice I can give you today. So what has sold this week in the B-Rocks eBay store? If you look right here, if you watched my video last Saturday, we ended with the Clorox Pool and Spa Smart Testing Strip, and we're going to pick up from what sold that night and follow it all the way up to what sold this morning before this video has been made. So I sold a Roundtree in York Hawaiian shirt here for $10. I paid $1 for it. One of my favorite brands to sell, Psycho Bunny. I sold this t-shirt for 40 bucks. I paid $2 for it. Army Cold Wet Weather Gore-Tex pants. I actually have a pair of these that I use myself. I sold these to somebody in Canada for 50 bucks. I paid $5 for them. They're wonderful pants. I love wearing them in the wintertime when I'm having to work outside, or when I'm playing in the snow with my son. They do a great job keeping the water out. Um, these are awesome pants, and the Canadian buyer paid shipping for that. Paid a couple of bucks for this Jimi Hendrix t-shirt, sold it for 12. Paid $1 for this Western shirt, sold it for 15. Once again, Under Armour, it's popping up week after week with kids clothing and men's athletic clothing. This Under Armour Ironman shirt sold for 14, paid a couple of bucks for it. Adidas Climalite boys long sleeve shirt, paid $10. Sold it for $10, paid a couple of bucks for it. New with tags, Pittsburgh Pirates baseball shirt, paid $2.50 for it, I think, sold for 14. Paid $1 for this dress shirt here, sold for 15. Another favorite of mine is Lifted Research Group, LRG. I love selling their pants and their shorts. I sold these for 12. Buyer paid priority shipping for those. Speedo swim trunks sold for 13, paid $3 for it. This is a retail arbitrage item bought at Tractor Supply, paid $6 for this Wrangler men's Western Pearl snap button shirt. Took an offer of 17 on this, I think, or it might have been 18. Once again, Under Armour kids baseball shirt sold for 10, paid a couple of bucks for it. Paid $1 for this Ozark vest, this hiking vest, puffer vest, and sold it as new without tags for $17. This Peyton Manning Broncos jersey seems a little cheap, but actually it had some spots on the front and back. Always be honest and upfront about any flaws in the item. And so I mentioned it in the description that I priced it according to its condition flaws. Normally I would sell this probably for about $17 to $18, a youth size, but still making money. Paid a couple of dollars for it, sold it for 11. Another Wrangler shirt here, paid $1 for it, sold for 18. Under Armour camo shirt here, a youth large, sold it for 12, paid $2 for it. Or actually no, just paid $1 for it, and paid $1 for this American Eagle shirt here. Flannel shirt sold for 17. Columbia shorts here, took an offer of 15 for these, paid 3 for them. And another Under Armour boys shirt, paid $2 for it, and sold for 12. As you can see, as always, selling the top brands, the most recognizable brands, and picking them up for cheap and giving people some pretty good deals. Some of these items probably could have sold for more, but my margins are still pretty good. I give them a good deal. Maybe they'll come back, and just providing the best customer experience or service that I can, and in hopes that they do come back. And I see that in the feedback. They mention a lot of times about my free shipping and the prices, and so I want to keep doing what I'm doing. Things are going well. I did notice here, I just thought of this, it skipped September 10th. I actually sold a pair of dumbbells, 10-pound dumbbells for $50 that I paid around $20 for. Same goes for a couple of 25-pound plates. I sold for $95 and paid $36 or so for those, and after shipping and fees and everything, making between $40 and $45 off those. I don't know why eBay skipped that day, but I did sell those two things on September 10th. Yeah, that's weird that it skipped that data, so maybe it'll show up later. I don't know why that day has been left off here, but that's it this week for what is sold in my store. Sales are down a little bit, but I've started in-person teaching again. I'm back in school. I've been tired. I've not been feeding the beast as much. I've been probably only listing on average about 2 or 3 items a day, whereas when school gets going, on the weeknights, I try to list at least 5 items, and then I try to do my typical 10 items per day on Saturday and Sunday, with occasionally mixing in, trying to do more than that if I can find some extra time. But it does make a difference. That's why it's important that you just keep listing as often as possible, And hopefully, as I have built up my endurance through this school week now, getting used to the school year, I can get back to listing my 5 items per day on the weekdays, and that will help. So, as always, guys, be rocking it out. Hope you guys are crushing it with your sales, and keep checking back on this video every Saturday. And also, in the description, you can find my eBay store, to where you can just search my sold listings and educate yourself on what's selling, and maybe you can be finding some of these things out there as well. All right, peace out, guys. Take care.